How do you feel on the eve of your first actual game on the bench of the Ottawa Senators?
Well, it's been a few months now that we're preparing for this, so it's time. It really is. I think we haven't had a lot of time with our team, but we have enough time to at least put all the skeleton of what we want to do, and then we'll just put the meat around it as we move along here. But today after practice, I was satisfied with what we've been able to do up to now to get to that first game. So I think the players feel prepared, and ready to go.
Do you anticipate any nervousness for yourself?
For me, no. For me, no. But I know for the players, it's an enthusiastic day. It's exciting. And that's what we have to watch out. We want emotion, but we want emotion under control. We've done everything we needed to do now for that first game. We've covered, face-offs and everything else, and we've worked really hard. We had a tough camp. We did it on purpose. We feel we're in shape, and now tomorrow it's just to review a few things and specific things against Toronto, and we want emotion, but we want it under control.
One more thing on that point, though. Just after all you've been preaching to the players, is it, of course you want to win, but is it important to sort of reinforce your message with a victory? Like they see positive results in a game?
Yeah, I think they see it in practice right now, so that was good. They see the results of a lot of the things that we were talking before. They've seen the clips of us doing the right things at different moments of different games, and the key here is to eventually get all that together and being consistent. Being consistent doesn't mean you're 100% doing the right things. If you're a coach, I've been doing it for 20 years now, if you're doing 75% to about 85% of what you're supposed to do in the game, you're having a very, very good game because there's an opponent, and the opponent's doing well also. So you that consistency there doesn't mean you don't make mistakes, but it means that you most of what you want to do, you see it, and then it just becomes execution after that. And I think that's where we are right now. There's a lot of the things defensively we wanted to do, we wanted to be, especially in the right places. And we gotten that much better than it was a few weeks ago. That's clear. Now, we're still going to improve our gap, still going to improve our stick on puck, still going to make some mistakes, but we're ready to get into a game and look like at least part of what we're supposed to be eventually. But I'm going in confident in the game tomorrow that we have systems that the guys understand. Will they be great at it? That's down the road, but I think they can be good at it right now.
There's one guy who needs to be better than 75%. That's your goalie, who needs to stop over 90% of the shots. How happy are you with the way that they played in Canada? How confident are you?
I think our goalie coach has done a really good job of preparing this summer, first of all. I think Hammond has showed real calmness in his way of dealing with games and shots and rebounding from goals, and he's an emotional guy, which gives him one of his strengths. But at the same time, I think that emotion has really been under control since the beginning, and there's a calmness to him that I didn't see in the clips from last year. So I think that with Pierre and Hammond really working hard at calming his game, I think it's looked really good in practices and in the games that he's played. So that gives me a lot of confidence in his case. And with Anderson, he's looking really good. I'm not surprised. I mean, he's a really good goalie. We know what we want to do for him is really reduce the amount of high-end quality scoring chances. We know where that was last year in terms of the number of chances against and the number of shots. We have to get that down. There's no other way for us to have success. Even though we have a good offense, even if we do well, we got to be better defensively, and a big part of it is the number of shots and the high-quality scoring chances against him. Like, he's great, but at some point he'll be worn out if we're given a lot of high-quality scoring chances, and that's what was good in the last two games. Even the game against Toronto, they were buzzing in the first 10 minutes of the third period, but when you look at the high-end quality scoring chances, they were still lower than the previous game. And so every game we've got down in terms of the high quality scoring chances. So which tells me that we're in the right track in that respect.
Will he start?
Yes. That's the only guy I could tell you where I'm 100%. He's in nets. The rest, obviously, we got our big names that are in, but we're going to make decisions. We got to talk this afternoon. We're going to go 6 and 12 for sure. But yeah, I still have to make decision on D who's playing and with the forwards too.
Are you a believer though in letting your goalie get on a bit of a run in terms of starts, like your number one guy?
Oh yeah.
I'm not asking you for sure who's starting on Saturday, but if he's playing.
Yeah. No. I mean, he's got to get rolling. He's a terrific goaltender, but he's a human being. So there's good days and bad days, like everybody. And great goaltenders, they rebound, and you got to give them a chance to rebound. But we have to have a backup goaltender that's solid, so that we don't have to play him 12 games in a row, and it has to be him. I think that's important. But again, it's circumstantial. There'll be moments where we feel we get back-to-backs, or Hammond gets a game and is looking great, and it's a moment to give a rest to Anderson. So we're going to manage that at that point.
You've been asked a lot about defensive play, and how much confusion did you have to clear up for your system? And they were talking about how well or how poorly they played last year in shots against, and Craig faced the second most shots in the league. What has changed in the defensive zone?
What is starting to change? That's I think the best way to put it, because I certainly won't have the pretension that, okay, now we're going to be exactly like I want it to be, and we're going to turn that 180 degrees right now. That's unrealistic. I think the first thing is we want to protect the middle, and the players have seen that since the beginning. It's all about owning the middle for us. So from the middle, we're able to deflect to the outsides, and then we're able to squeeze the opponent. But we don't want to squeeze them out right away so they get the middle. Then it becomes very difficult on the rush and on the back check and in the zone to defend. So I think that's not getting in our systems, because I certainly don't want to tell everybody exactly what we're doing. But that's the core of what we're doing. That middle's got to be jammed on the back check. It's got to be jammed on the in the D zone, and from there, with numbers above, we're able to at least make it hard for the opponent to get to our net freely.
Is that your single biggest challenge for this year, or at least for right now?
Well, there's many, but I think, yeah, defensively is probably right now is the biggest thing. I haven't spent enough time on offense yet, which is what I like to do the most, and that's how I kind of got up here. But we had to spend so much time on the structure, and now we're spent yesterday a lot of time on individual one-on-ones and technically getting better, and the guys have responded extremely well. Like in the span of 1 week, the players have really, some guys going from being lost in what we're trying to ask them to looking pretty impressive. So I think right now that's what gives me a lot of hope for our guys. Now, are we absolutely ready right now? And it's a process. I'm a big believer in the process, one step at a time. I got the first step in for our players, and I'll get to step 2 when I feel step 1 has been secured. Then we'll move on to the more complicated stuff after. But I think offensively is what I kind of left behind a little bit. Power play, we've done enough to have pretty good structure. But I think 5-on-5, we'll work more on our offense as we move along.
Peter Dorian kind of outlined his expectations for this team with us a few minutes ago, when that you'd be a playoff team. What are your expectations for this team?
Like I said, I'm a big process guy, and if you get lost in long-term goal, you're not taking care of the present. So for me, I want to get better every day. I'll have days where I'm really not happy and everybody else is happy, because I know that day we didn't get better, we stayed the same, or we got worse. And I can't stand that. So that's where sometimes around me, it's, I'm demanding. I'm demanding because I just want to get it right. So just getting through the day, getting through a practice, I'm not happy. So today I'm happy. I saw a lot of good things. A lot of things that were better today, the understanding where to be and technically. So I feel today we got better. So tomorrow is a new day for me, and I've never done this differently. And there's no game on Saturday for me. It's tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going in, we want to win that game, and we move along. That's how I've always approached it. So I'd love to tell you, I'd love to finish here, and I think we can do this, but you got to stay in the present. This is where it's at. If you're in the future and you're in the past, you're not where you should be, because it's all about now. That's how I approach it. So now I want to do better against Toronto than we did the last time we played them. That's my focus.